Welcome to Tech Hack. Today we are talking about the Samsung Note 4. Samsung has for years ruled the big screen phone, or better known as the phablet market, since it launched its first Note. The Note 4 retains screen size at 5.7 inch as the earlier Note 3, and thank God it didn't get any bigger. Keeping in mind the size of the phone, it is light at 179 grams and slim at 8.5 mm. It comes in four colors: frost white, charcoal black, bronze gold, and blossom pink. It's available in only 32 GB variant, though it is expandable through SD cards up to 64 GB. Samsung has been criticized for its poor design. The pointless stitch marks on the back, the plastic chrome, rounded sides, and that awkward big charger port made the Note 3 look cheap. All are gone in the Note 4. In comes aluminium sides, chamfered edges, and smooth curves, with a leather feel back which gives it a much more premium look. Samsung has only used aluminium on the sides. The back is made of polycarbonate plastic with a leather finish. Even though the plastic back gives a solid grip and helps the removable battery, I believe the full metal body are still better. So in the front of the phone is a 5.7-inch screen, a 3.7 megapixel selfie cam on top, and the home button along with the back and menu soft keys at the bottom. Now the home button has a fingerprint sensor on it. The fingerprint is almost impossible to use in one hand as you have to swipe down on the home button. But while using the phone with both hands, it worked fairly. On the back of the phone there is a 16 megapixel camera with the LED flash and a heart rate monitor. Nevertheless, the instrument is huge and is not at all comfortable in one hand. It may be good for a phablet, but for phone it's not good at all. It boasts a huge 5.7-inch Quad HD Super AMOLED display with a resolution of 2560 into 1440. The screen does look great. The brightness, the colors, the sharpness, everything comes off pretty well on this big screen. I had no problems using it either in low or bright sunlight, and watching movies or reading texts suddenly feel better on its huge screen. This device is a powerhouse. It comes with a massive 2.7 GHz quad-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 805 processor along with 3 gigs of RAM. The performance was no issue at all. No matter how many apps were open, there were no hiccups or lags. Everything went on smoothly and it was a seamless experience. To handle this big display and performance, a bigger battery was much needed. Note 4 comes with a 3020 mAh battery. It did manage about a full day of heavy usage, which is pretty good. And now it comes with a new power saving mode in which the phone turns into a black and white screen where you can only use features like phone calls and receiving texts. This gives the last 10% of the battery a few hours of limited use. It could come handy in emergency. The sound volume and the loudspeaker is okay, but the speakers are still placed at the back, so you have to keep the phone upside down for the best results. The sound quality on phone calls was a problem though. It runs Android 4.4.4 KitKat with the familiar Samsung TouchWiz UI. The S Pen has been the highlight of the Note always. This time the S Pen has improved substantially and writing with the S Pen feels more natural now. When you take out the S Pen from its slot, the Air Command menu pops up with the option for editing like Select, Snapshot, etc., with which you can copy and paste onto the other documents. You can also invoke the Air Command menu by pressing the side button on the S Pen. A handy tool, the S Pen can also be used as a mouse to select a photo from the album or scroll pages in the gallery by pointing to the end of the screen. The S Pen improves note-taking and sketching on the device screen. Once friendly, I tend to use the pen every time I use the phone. It also works on the soft keys, so I hardly had to use my fingers. But again, this means two hands. Coming back to the UI. There is the home screen where you put all your widgets and shortcut to your favorite apps. On the home screen, left swipe opens Flipboard, the news app. The down swipe brings to the notification bar. The menu key opens recently used apps. Long press the home button to get the Google Now. You can use it to search web, make calls, toggle some settings, and set alarms and a lot more. And long press the back key to open the apps panel on this side, which helps us to use the multi-window facility. You can use up to 5 apps at a time. The facility to have more than one apps open simultaneously comes in handy at times. The multi-window facility gives it a PC-like feel. You can increase and reduce a window size at will. Samsung is talking about its health app. They have put in a heart rate monitor on the back so you can check and keep record of your heart rate and body oxygen levels. But I found it to be more a toy than a reliable device. Samsung has added many simplification tricks to minimize the chaos of too many features, settings, options, etc. by putting them in separate menus. But still, there are too many ways to do any one thing that makes it difficult to learn. One place you can see this taking effect is the camera app. The camera app has improved a lot, reducing the options on any screen. It is much simpler to use, and then all the frills are still available in various menus and submenus. The screen remains uncluttered and you can still get those options through mode setting. The image quality for the 16 megapixel shooter is quite good. The colors and sharpness were up to the mark, but compared to the iPhone 6 Plus camera, the brightness levels were generally low, and the low light images were not that good. Interestingly, Samsung knows that the phone is too large for one-hand use. Thus, the one-hand option gives the following. The home screen becomes smaller and goes to one side for handling with one thumb. The one-hand input reduces and moves to side the number pad or the keyboard. Invokes a side key panel which brings the bottom keys to the side. This keyboard reduction did help, but I could not understand why one would reduce the screen when he bought a large screen phone. Verdict: for its excellent screen, power-packed hardware, a good camera, longer battery life, and that productive S Pen, Note 4 wins against all other phablets. If you want a big screen phone to edit photos, take notes, make presentations, watch movies, and play games for long, look no further. This is it. But true phone users remember, with the bad audio quality on the calls and the forced two hands use, this may be the best phablet, but not the best phone.